Imagine a place where everything you ever dreamed of is not just possible, it's real. A place so beautiful, so peaceful that even words fall short to describe it. What if I told you this place exists, and it's waiting for you? A place where the unimaginable comes to life. This is paradise, but what does it really look like? Stay with me, cause today, we're going to take a journey through the wonders of paradise. One that will leave you in awe. So, what is the roof of paradise? Picture this, the most magnificent structure you can imagine. It's not made of stone or wood. No, it's the throne of Allah, and it will be the roof of this eternal home. Can you even imagine how majestic that must be? Now, let's talk about the pebbles of paradise. In this divine place, pebbles aren't ordinary stones. They're made of the most precious gems, pearls and rubies. Imagine walking on a path where every step you take, you're walking on treasures. And speaking of treasures, let's talk about the bricks in paradise. These aren't regular bricks either. One brick will be made of gold, and the next one will be made of silver. A golden brick, a silver brick. The entire structure built from nothing but wealth beyond our wildest dreams. But the luxury doesn't end there. Let's look up at the trees in paradise. There will be no tree in paradise with simple branches. No, every branch will be made of gold and silver. That means no wooden branches. Can you picture the beauty and elegance of these trees? Everything in paradise reflects the finest materials that are beyond anything we know. What about the fruits in paradise? If you think fruit in this world is delicious, wait until you hear about the fruits of paradise. These fruits will be as soft as foam, as sweet as honey. They won't just be fruits, they'll be like nothing we've ever tasted before. And they will be as big as pitchers, ready for you to indulge in as much as you want. The leaves in paradise, they will be more beautiful than the finest fabrics. Imagine leaves shimmering and glowing with colors we can't even describe. Everything is not just beautiful but perfection. Let's move on to the rivers. In paradise, there won't be just one river. There will be rivers of milk whose taste will never change. Rivers of wine that are so delicious they will leave you speechless. And rivers of honey crystal clear and pure. It's a place where every sip, every taste, is a delight you can never get enough of. But what will you eat in paradise? The best fruits, the juiciest meats from birds, and so much more. Whatever you desire, you will have it. No matter how much you want, it will never run out. As for the drinks, they will be made from the purest ingredients, tasneem, ginger, and camphor. Imagine drinking a beverage that not only quenches your thirst but refreshes your soul. And the utensils? Well, you won't be eating or drinking from any old dishes. No, the dishes will be made of gold and silver. Bowls, glasses, and cups will be made of glass so clear, you'll see your reflection in them as you sip the most delightful drinks. Now about the gates of paradise. Let's take a moment to think about the gates. These gates are not like any gates you've ever seen. Between the two doors of just one gate, there will be a distance equal to 40 years of travel. Can you even imagine how grand and massive these gates must be? And one day, there will be so many people trying to enter, that even these gigantic gates will seem too small. Can you picture that crowd, all wanting to enter this heavenly abode? Next, the sound of the wind through the trees. When the wind blows, it will make a melody so sweet that anyone who hears it will be lost in joy. It's the kind of sound that makes your heart skip a beat. And the shade of the trees. It won't just protect you from the sun. The shade will be so vast that it will be like a never-ending comfort. Just one tree's shade will be so long that if you were riding the fastest horse for 100 years, you wouldn't even reach the end of it. Now that's a feeling of true serenity. What about the tents and domes? In paradise there will be tents made of pearls with interiors as smooth and shiny as shells. Imagine a tent 60 miles long. A 60-mile-long tent made of pearls. It's beyond anything we could ever imagine. And the palaces. The upper rooms in paradise will be so high they'll look like stars. They'll be so tall you won't be able to see the top. Just like the stars you see rising and setting in the sky. And under these rooms rivers will flow, giving life to every corner of paradise. The clothing in paradise will be nothing short of luxurious. Made of silk and gold, the finest materials will adorn you, and every single outfit will make you feel like royalty. But that's not all. The beds, the couches, and thrones will be crafted from the finest silk and gold with no gaps or flaws. Just pure perfection. The people in paradise, they won't age. They will be in their prime at the age of 33, looking as youthful as ever. Their faces will shine as brightly as the moon, radiant and full of life. The voices they'll hear. They will hear the songs of the Houris, their beautiful wives with large expressive eyes. Not only that, but they will also hear the voices of the angels and prophets. And the most beautiful of all, the voice of Allah Himself. Can you imagine the sound of that voice and the rides? The mounts in paradise will be unlike anything you've ever seen. Allah will give the people of paradise majestic steeds, ready to take them anywhere they wish. They'll travel the land going wherever their hearts desire. And the jewelry, it will be crafted from gold and precious pearls, adorning the people of paradise in bracelets beyond compare. It's a world of beauty, wealth, and endless happiness. Who will serve them? Beautiful young servants shining like polished pearls, always there to serve, the kind of servants who are eternally young, pure, and perfect like nothing we can even imagine. So, do you see it now? Paradise, a place of unimaginable beauty, luxury, and peace. It's a reward that awaits those who strive for the best in this life. And it's all real. It's there, waiting for you. Will you be among those who enter this eternal paradise? Let's start with what can only be described as the greatest gift anyone could ever receive in paradise, the ability to see Allah. This is the ultimate reward and the pinnacle of all blessings. Picture yourself after a life full of trial, sacrifices, and devotion, and finally, Allah grants you the incredible honor of gazing upon His radiant face. Can you even imagine what it would feel like to witness the glory of your Creator? The Quran paints a beautiful picture of this moment. On that day, some faces will be radiant, looking at their Lord. Surah Al-Qiyamah 7:2-3. This verse from the Quran describes a moment of unimaginable joy and peace, where the faces of the righteous will glow with radiance as they look upon their Lord. The word radiant refers to the unmatched beauty and happiness that will shine on the faces of those who are fortunate enough to experience this moment. Let's take a moment to think about what this actually means. We live in a world filled with distractions, struggles, and uncertainty. But in paradise we will finally experience the most pure and fulfilling moment of our existence, the moment we gaze upon Allah's face. Imagine feeling Allah's mercy and love flowing toward you. It will be a moment of such intimacy and closeness that it surpasses any experience we could ever imagine. In Sahih Muslim, it is narrated that the Prophet Muhammad PBUH described the vision of Allah in paradise, saying, "When the people of paradise enter paradise, Allah will ask them, 'Do you want anything more?' They will respond, 'Didn't you brighten our faces? Didn't you enter us into paradise and save us from the hellfire?' Allah will then say, 'This is the greatest reward. I will bestow upon you my pleasure, and I will never be angry with you again." So Sahih Muslim, this hadith shows that the ultimate gift is not just entering paradise or receiving rewards, but the perfect joy of being in the presence of Allah, feeling His pleasure, and knowing that He is pleased with you. Allah's pleasure in this moment will bring a peace that no worldly pleasure can match. The Quran makes it clear that the closeness of Allah to His believers in paradise will be unlike anything we can understand. In Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, "Indeed, those who believed and done righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be paradise everlasting." Surah Al-Baqarah 98-78. This verse highlights the relationship between Allah and the people of paradise, emphasizing that those who believed in Him and acted righteously will not only be in His mercy, but also be rewarded with the closest possible proximity to Him in paradise. True success is the closeness of Allah, and seeing Him with your own eyes is the ultimate joy. But here's the thing, this vision of Allah isn't something that everyone will experience. It's a reward reserved who have strived in this life, those who have worked hard to follow the commands of Allah and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad PBUH. The Prophet PBUH made this clear in his teachings. In a famous hadith he said, "When the people of paradise enter paradise, Allah will say, 'Do you wish for anything more?' They will say, 'O Lord, you have made our faces radiant, you have admitted us to paradise, and you have saved us from the hellfire.' Allah will then say, 'I will give you something better than all of that.' They will ask, 'What could be better than this?' Allah will say, 'I will grant you my pleasure and will never be angry with you again." So Sahih Muslim. This is a powerful reminder that our ultimate goal should be to earn Allah's pleasure, and the vision of Allah is the crown of all rewards. The people who will earn this greatest gift are those who have lived in devotion, obeying the commands of Allah, and striving to uphold the values of truth, patience, and righteousness in this world. The vision of Allah will be unique to every individual in paradise. Some scholars believe that the closeness of Allah to the people of paradise will vary based on their deeds in this life. For example, those who were more dedicated in their worship, who went above and beyond in helping others, and who maintained patience through hardships may experience a greater degree of closeness to Allah. But no matter how close, Everyone in paradise will feel His mercy and love, and everyone will have their joy multiplied beyond measure. In a hadith from Sahih Bukhari, the Prophet PBUH said, "You will see your Lord as you see the full moon on a cloudless night. You will have no difficulty in seeing Him." This hadith is one of the most beautiful descriptions of the vision of Allah. It conveys the ease and clarity with which the righteous will see their Creator, and the complete satisfaction they will feel at that moment. It's a moment of total clarity, where all doubts are removed, and only joy remains. Knowing that the greatest gift in paradise is the chance to see Allah should be a powerful motivation for us. It's the ultimate reward, the most intimate moment of our existence, and it's something we should be striving toward every single day. Every act of worship, every prayer, and every act of kindness brings us closer to this moment of ultimate joy. So, let this be a reminder. The vision of Allah in paradise is not just a beautiful idea or a promise, it is the reward. This is what we are working towards, and this is what we should seek with all our hearts. Let the love for Allah drive you to live a life of sincerity, devotion, and righteousness, knowing that one day, Insha'Allah, God willing, you will have the privilege to gaze upon His face and experience the ultimate joy. Meeting Prophet Muhammad at PBUH in paradise, but that's not all. In paradise, while you are enjoying the eternal beauty and the blessings that Allah has prepared for the righteous, you will also experience something far beyond what anyone could ever imagine. You will meet the greatest of all human beings, Prophet Muhammad at PBUH. Can you even fathom the joy of walking through the lush gardens of paradise, with the Prophet Muhammad at PBUH by your side, offering his guidance and comfort? Can you imagine sitting with him, listening to his words of wisdom, and feeling his blessings? It's a reward that surpasses anything in this world. The Prophet Muhammad at PBUH himself promised us in a powerful hadith, "Whoever meets me in paradise, I will be his companion." It's a Syrian Muslim. This isn't just a promise, it's a divine guarantee that the believers who enter paradise will have the honor of being with him in the most intimate and joyful way. The prophets at PBUH will welcome those who have followed his teachings with open arms, guiding them in paradise just as he did during his life on earth. Meeting the Prophet Muhammad at PBUH in paradise isn't just about being in his physical presence. It's about experiencing the purest form of joy and guidance. In this world, the PBUH was a teacher, a leader, and a source of comfort for his followers. In paradise, that role only magnifies. Imagine walking beside the Prophet at Yesha, hearing him speak, and receiving his guidance on how to experience the beauty of paradise. The companionship of the Prophet at PBUH is priceless. To be in his presence, to be able to speak with him and learn from him directly, is a privilege that cannot be compared to anything in this world. The Prophet at PBUH was not only a guide for the physical world, but also the ultimate intercessor for the believers. His presence in paradise will be the greatest comfort for the people there. In a narration from Sahih Muslim, the prophets of PBUH mentioned, "When the people of paradise enter paradise, Allah will ask them, 'Do you want anything more?' They will say, 'O Lord, you have brightened our faces, you have admitted us to paradise, and saved us from hell. What more could we want?' Allah will then say, 'I will give you something better than all of that. I will bestow upon you my pleasure, and I will never be angry with you again.' And then the prophets of PBUH will appear to them as their most cherished companion. Just knowing that he is with you as a friend and a guide will fill your heart with peace and joy. In paradise, not only will you meet Prophet Muhammad at PBUH, but you will also have the opportunity to learn from him in the most profound way. Imagine sitting in the gardens of paradise, surrounded by the beauty of nature, and listening to the Prophet at PBUH as he shares his wisdom with you, just as he did during his life on earth. The Prophet at PBUH was a fountain of knowledge, and his teachings continue to guide Muslims today. In paradise, you will have the unique chance to ask him questions, to seek his advice, and to learn from his unparalleled wisdom. He will guide you to deeper understanding, and you will experience a sense of peace and fulfillment like never before. For those who struggle, who faced hardship, or who experienced loss during their lives, meeting the Prophet Muhammad's of PBUH paradise will be a comfort like no other. His kindness and compassion were legendary during his life, and in paradise those same qualities will bring peace to your heart. The Prophet at PBUH will be there to console and comfort you, as he did for his companions during his life. In a beautiful hadith, the Prophet of PBUH said, "Whoever will be his companion in paradise," as Sahih Muslim. This isn't just a statement of companionship, it's a promise that those who follow the Prophet's path, who love him, and who strive to live according to his teachings, will be rewarded with his company in paradise. The companionship of Prophet Muhammad at PBUH in paradise will not be temporary, it will be eternal. Once you are in paradise, there is no separation, no parting. You will continue to enjoy his company forever, sharing in the joy and blessings that Allah has prepared for you. In the Hadith recorded by Imam Ahmad, the prophets of PBUH said, "Whoever loves me, I will take him by the hand and lead him to paradise." This shows how intimately connected the Prophet, his PUH, is with the believers in the afterlife. His companionship is the ultimate reward, and it is a reward that will last for all eternity. This meeting with the Prophet at PUH is a gift that comes with a condition: love and following his path. The Prophet PUH himself said, "None of you truly believes until I am more beloved to him than his father, his children, and all of mankind." Says Sahih-Bukhari. Loving the Prophet Muhammad at PBUH is not just about saying the words. It's about following his example in every aspect of our lives. It's about obedience to his teachings, emulating his character, and striving to live according to his guidance. This love and devotion will be the key that opens the door to paradise, and ultimately to the blessed companionship of Prophet Muhammad at PBUH. To meet Prophet Muhammad at PUH in paradise is to experience a friendship like no other. It's a friendship that transcends time and space, a bond formed through love and reverence for the Prophet at PUH. This eternal friendship will be a source of joy, comfort, and contentment throughout your time in paradise. Imagine this: in paradise, you will sit side by side with the prophets of PUH, chatting with him as if you've known him forever. You will feel his warmth, care, and kindness in every word, and you will never feel alone. His guidance will be your light, and his companionship will fill your heart with peace. In this life, we search for companions who bring us joy, comfort, and understanding. In paradise, the ultimate companion is none other than Prophet Muhammad of PBUH. No matter what you faced in this world, no matter the struggles, in paradise, you will have the best companion, someone who truly understands you, someone who will bring you closer to Allah and guide you to eternal happiness. Meeting Prophet Muhammad PU in paradise is more than just a beautiful reward, it is the highest honor, the most cherished gift. His companionship will fill your heart with joy, and his guidance will bring you closer to Allah. It's a reward that can never be replaced, a companionship that transcends time, and a joy that never fades. So, let this be a reminder: the love and devotion you show to Prophet Muhammad at PUH today will be the key to meeting him in paradise. Strive to be a follower, a lover of the Prophet of PUH, and Insha'Allah, God willing, you will experience the ultimate joy of being in his company forever. The various levels of paradise is not just a single place, it's a vast, multi-layered realm where every level is more beautiful and rewarding than the last. This means that no two people will experience paradise in the same way. The level of paradise you reside in depends on the deeds and actions you performed in this world. Each person's reward in paradise is tailored to their efforts and faith in this life. Some will be closer to Allah, enjoying the highest rewards, while others will have a level that suits the righteousness they demonstrated in their lives. But even if you're not in the highest level, rest assured that the joy, beauty, and peace of each level will exceed anything we can imagine. Jannat al-Firdaus, the highest level, the highest and most honored level of paradise, is called Jannat al-Firdaus. This level is reserved for those who are the most pious, the closest to Allah, and those who have demonstrated extraordinary faith and good deeds during their lifetime. The Prophet Muhammad BH made a clear reference to this level in a beautiful hadith. When you ask Allah, ask him for Jannat al-Firdaus, for it is the best and the highest part of paradise. Sahih-Bukhari. Imagine being in the most beautiful and prestigious part of paradise, a place where the view is beyond comprehension and the reward is unmatched. In Jannat al-Firdaus, you will enjoy the most pleasing and rewarding experience, with the highest honor being closer to Allah. The beauty of Jannat al-Firdaus is unimaginable, and the reward for living a life of piety and devotion will be evident in every aspect of your surroundings. The special reward of Jannat al-Firdaus. The prophets of PUH also explained that Jannat al-Firdaus is the center of paradise. It is the highest of all levels, and beneath it is the throne of Allah. In a hadith recorded in Sahih-Bukhari, the prophet of PUH said, "If you ask Allah for paradise, ask him for Jannat al-Firdaus, for it is the most superior and the most elevated part of paradise, and from it the rivers of paradise flow." Jannat al-Firdaus is not only the highest in position but also the place from which the blessings of paradise spread throughout. Rivers of pure, crystal clear water flow from this level, and the gardens are full of fragrance, lush greenery, and blooming flowers that are beyond anything we can comprehend. Imagine living in a place where every moment is filled with beauty, peace, and the pleasure of Allah. There will be no pain, no sadness, and no worry. You will have eternal contentment, and your heart will be at complete ease, knowing that you are in the highest, most beautiful place in all of paradise. Not everyone will be in Jannat al-Firdaus, but even those in the lower levels of paradise will experience a reward and joy beyond anything they could have imagined. The beauty and happiness of each level is designed to be more than sufficient for the righteous to be fully content. Each level of paradise will have its own special rewards. While the highest level, Jannat al-Firdaus, will be the most exclusive and magnificent, those in the other levels will not feel any less content. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH said, "The people of paradise will be the happiest and most content, regardless of the level they are in," says Sahih Muslim. It's important to note that the levels of paradise are not about comparison or envy. Instead, they are about the infinite mercy and generosity of Allah. Everyone will be happy, and everyone will feel rewarded in the way that is most fitting for their efforts in this life. No one will feel deprived and no one will be jealous. Every individual will receive what they truly deserve, based on their actions, prayers, sacrifices, and good deeds. The Quran also speaks about the levels of paradise and how they are connected to the actions performed in this world. Allah says in Surah Al-Hadith, "Wealth and children are but adornment of the worldly life, but the enduring good deeds are better to your Lord for reward and better for your hope." Since Surah Al-Hadith 5722, this verse reminds us that the good deeds we perform in this life will determine the level of paradise we are granted. Each act of worship, every moment of patience, and every deed done in the name of Allah has the potential to raise you to a higher level in paradise. The different levels of paradise are specifically designed for the righteous who have led lives full of devotion, kindness, sincerity, and faith in Allah. In Surah Al-Imran, Allah promises, "Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be paradise." As Surah Al-Imran 3:10. This verse emphasizes that the reward for righteous deeds is the ultimate prize at eternal residence in paradise, where each person will receive a reward that aligns with their level of goodness and faithfulness. In a famous hadith, the Prophet PBUH described that those in the highest level of paradise, Jannat al-Firdaus, will be the ones who were the most obedient to Allah, the ones who followed the commands of the Prophet Muhammad PBUH and lived their lives in the most righteous way possible. They are the ones who strive to make Allah happy in all they did. The people of Jannat al-Firdaus are those who have given the best in this world and will be rewarded with the best in the next life. Sahih Muslim. Their deeds will have raised them above the rest, and they will live in eternal bliss with the closest proximity to Allah. But it is also important to remember that while the highest levels are reserved for those who did the most good, even the lowest level of paradise will be a place of unimaginable reward for those who strived in faith. Although there are different levels, it's important to remember that no one in paradise will be dissatisfied. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH said, "The people of paradise will be so happy that they will never wish to leave, nor will they ever want anything more," says Sahih Bukhari. Even those who reside in the lower levels will never feel jealousy or regret. They will be filled with the ultimate joy of knowing they are in the presence of Allah's mercy, and they will be content with their reward. There will be no envy or resentment, because everyone will be happy with what they have been given by Allah. The various levels of paradise remind us of the mercy of Allah, and how He rewards each person according to their efforts. Jannat al-Firdaus, the highest level, is the ultimate goal for those who strive for excellence in their faith and good deeds. But every level in paradise is filled with unimaginable rewards and eternal joy. The beauty of each level exceeds all earthly experiences, and everyone will be content with the blessings they have received. Let these descriptions serve as a motivation to always strive for the highest of deeds, and to make the best use of our time on earth. Paradise awaits us, and the levels are just waiting to be filled with the rewards of our good deeds, devotion, and love for Allah. The Houris of paradise. Among the greatest rewards in paradise, Allah has promised the Houris, the beautiful, pure companions who will be there to provide eternal joy and companionship for the righteous. These companions will not just be beautiful in appearance, but their beauty will reflect the inner purity, grace, and perfection that Allah has granted them. The Houris will be untouched by the trials of the world, and will remain in a state of eternal youth and beauty. Imagine being in a place where you are constantly surrounded by companions who bring you joy, peace, and delight. The Quran beautifully describes them. In them will be women limiting their glances, untouched before them by man or jinn. So Surah Ar-Rahman 5:56. This verse paints a picture of the purity and immaculate beauty. They will be untouched and untainted by anyone before, preserving their beauty and grace exclusively for the righteous who will enter paradise. The eternal beauty of the Houris. The Houris will be in a state of perfect beauty that never fades. Their beauty is not like the fleeting, temporary beauty we experience in this world, which diminishes with age or hardship. Instead, the Houris will remain in a state of eternal youth. The Quran speaks about their perfection. There will be virgins chaste, restraining their glances, with whom no man or jinn has had intercourse before them. Says Surah Al-Waqi'ah 5:633 Sana. These companions will remain in a state of timeless purity, forever young, and will never experience aging or the passing of time. Their beauty will be beyond compare, and they will be a reflection of Allah's mercy and reward for the righteous. The role of the Houris in paradise. The Houris will not only be beautiful in form, but they will also possess an innate kindness, grace, and gentleness. They will be perfect companions for the righteous, offering them comfort, joy, and companionship. Allah created the Houris to be the ultimate companions who will fill the hearts of the believers with peace and happiness. The Prophet Muhammad and PBUH described the Houris as beings with exquisite features, emphasizing their beauty and purity in numerous hadiths. In a narration from Sayyid Muslim, the Prophet at PBUH said, "The righteous will be given a reward in paradise beyond what they have done, and their wives will be Houris, created perfectly for them. These companions will be a reward for the righteous, offering them not just beauty, but also joyful companionship in the gardens of paradise. This companionship will be a source of eternal delight, allowing the believers to experience complete contentment and happiness, free from any sorrow, pain, or worry." The Houris is a symbol of Allah's mercy. The presence of the Houris in paradise serves as a symbol of Allah's mercy and the bounty He has prepared for those who are righteous in this world. The Houris are not just physical rewards. They represent perfection of Allah's creations in the afterlife. The Quran describes them as, "They will be in the shade, reclining on green cushions and beautiful carpets." As Surah Ar-Rahman 5:76. The Houris will be among the many forms of beauty and reward in paradise, adding to the tranquility, luxury, and delight the believers will experience. Every aspect of paradise, from its rivers to its gardens, from its buildings to the companions you will encounter, will be designed to bring you ultimate joy. The Houris will serve as ideal companions, bringing a sense of peace, love, and serenity that will make every moment in paradise better than the last. This is part of the perfect reward that Allah has prepared for those who live their lives with faith, obedience, and righteousness. The Houris' relationship with the righteous. The Houris will have a special connection with those who have earned their place in paradise. The righteous, especially those who lived lives of purity, devotion, and obedience to Allah, will find joy in their companionship. In a hadith narrated in Sahih Muslim, the Prophet Muhammad at PBUH said, "In paradise there is a place where the righteous will be reunited with their wives, and they will be accompanied by Houris. Allah will grant them happiness that they never knew in this world." At this reunion with the Houris will be a special reward for those who have been faithful, who have adhered to the commands of Allah and followed the teachings of Prophet Muhammad at PBUH. Their companionship will be a perfect gift, meant to add to the everlasting joy and pleasure of those in paradise. More about the Houris in hadith in another narration. The Prophet Muhammad at PBUH described the Houris with great detail, saying, "The Houris have been created for the believers. They are of such beauty that if one of them were to show her face to the earth, she would light up the whole earth with her beauty." Sunan Ibn Majah. The Houris are so perfect that their presence in paradise will add to its incomparable beauty. Their graceful and radiant nature will reflect the pure joy of living in the highest reward from Allah, showing how much He values and cherishes the believers. The Houris are just one of the countless blessings Allah has promised to the righteous in paradise. They will be the perfect companions, offering eternal beauty, joy, and comfort. These companions will remain in a state of eternal youth and purity, providing companionship and delight to those who live their lives in faith and obedience to Allah. Their presence will be a reflection of Allah's mercy and generosity, and they will serve as a constant source of happiness and contentment for those fortunate enough to be in their presence. The Houris, along with the many other rewards in paradise, remind us of the infinite goodness and blessings Allah has in store for those who remain faithful and strive for righteousness. They will be the ideal companions for the righteous, sharing in the ultimate joy that awaits in the afterlife. The status of the people of paradise. the people in paradise will be honored in a way that is beyond our understanding. Allah promises them the ultimate reward for their faith and righteous deeds, a life of eternal peace, bliss and contentment. In this eternal home, they will be free from all the hardships and sufferings that come with life in this world. They will be surrounded by blessings that can only be imagined. Allah tells us in the Quran about the status of the believers who earn their place in paradise. Indeed, those who believe and do righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be paradise. Everlasting. Surah Al-Baqarah 98-78. This verse beautifully highlights that the people of paradise are the best of creation, those who have strived for righteousness in this world. Their reward is paradise, a reward that is eternal beyond all comparison, and free from any form of pain, sadness, or worry. Their status in the eyes of Allah is the highest, and they will be honored in a way that no worldly position or title could ever compare to. No more hardship, only peace. In paradise, the believers will experience eternal peace. There will be no more pain, illness, or sorrow. All the struggles of this world, the challenges, the losses, the sicknesses, and the heart attachments will be gone. Allah promises this in the Quran. No sense of fatigue will touch them therein, nor will they ever be asked to leave. Surah Al-Hijr 15:48. This verse tells us that in paradise there will be no tiredness, no fatigue, and no death. The people of paradise will live in a state of eternal rest and comfort. They will be in a state of perpetual joy and satisfaction, where they will never feel tired, stressed, or anxious. It will be a life where every moment is filled with peace, pleasure beyond comprehension. The pleasures in paradise will go beyond anything we can even begin to imagine. The homes will be far more beautiful than anything in this world. The food will be of the finest quality, and the companions will bring joy and comfort. Every wish will be granted, and every desire will be fulfilled. There will be no limits to the blessings they will enjoy. The Quran describes the delights of paradise, and they will have therein the fruits of whatever they choose as an honor from your Lord. Says Surah Al-Insan 7:6-21. Here Allah promises the believers that they will have anything they desire in paradise. Whether it is delicious fruits, beautiful gardens, or companions, everything will be given to them in abundance. This reward will be far beyond the pleasures of this world, as the Prophet Muhammad at PBUH explained. In paradise, there is that which no eye has seen, no ear has heard, and no human heart has ever imagined. Sahih Bukhari. This means that the pleasures in paradise will be unique and unimaginable, far beyond anything we could ever conceive in this world. The Prophet Muhammad at PBUH also described the rewards of paradise as perfect, meaning there will be no flaws or imperfections in anything they experience. The perfect homes and clothing. The homes in paradise will be unlike any we can imagine. They will be beautiful, spacious, and comfortable beyond measure. The buildings will be made from the finest materials, and the gardens will be filled with rivers, trees, and flowers that never fade. Allah says in the Quran, they will recline on adorned couches face to face. Surah As-Safat 3:7-4-5. This verse tells us that the people of paradise will be in luxurious homes, reclining comfortably on adorned couches, living in perfect harmony. The clothing they wear will be of the finest silks, and they will be adorned with precious jewels. The Prophet Muhammad of PBUH also described the clothing of people of paradise as, the people of paradise will wear garments made of fine silk, and they will be adorned with gold and jewels. Sahih Muslim. These beautiful homes and garments symbolize the honor and reward that the righteous will receive for their obedience to Allah. They will be living in the best possible environment, where everything is designed for their ultimate comfort and joy. No more regret, only eternal happiness. One of the greatest aspects of the status of the people in paradise is the feeling of contentment and gratitude they will experience. Unlike in this world, where we often feel regret or sadness over missed opportunities, in paradise, there will be no regret or disappointment. The people of paradise will never look back at their lives with anything but gratitude for the blessings they received. Allah promises that the people of paradise will experience kind of joy that is unmatched, and they will not hear therein ill speech or commission of sin. Since Surah Al-Waqf 6:2-5. In paradise there will be no harsh words, no quarreling, and no negative energy. Every moment will be filled with peace, and every person will be content. The Prophet Muhammad of PBUH said in a hadith, the people of paradise will be so happy that they will never wish to leave, nor will they ever desire anything more. Sahih Bukhari. This shows us that in paradise the happiness and joy will be eternal and unending. There will be no moment of dissatisfaction or longing for something else. The people will feel completely at peace with the blessings they have received. knowing that their reward is a reflection of their faith and good deeds. The position of Islam in paradise. Islam is not just a religion, it is the path to paradise. The Quran is clear that belief in Allah and following the teachings of Prophet Muhammad and PBUH are the foundation for entering the eternal bliss of paradise. The Quran stresses the importance of faith and righteous deeds for attaining Allah's mercy and entering paradise. Allah promises in the Quran, indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be paradise everlasting. Surah Al-Baqarah 98-7. This verse emphasizes that belief in Allah and righteous deeds are key to attaining paradise. The best of creatures are those who follow the straight path of Islam, live according to the teachings of the Quran, and embrace the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad PBUH. Following Islam is not just about rituals, but about living a life of obedience to Allah, performing acts of kindness, and striving for righteousness. Islam is the path to paradise. In Islam, the ultimate goal is to achieve the pleasure of Allah and secure a place in paradise. Islam provides a clear and straight path to this ultimate reward. Every believer who follows the teachings of Islam will find guidance that leads to eternal success in the hereafter. The Quran says, "And whosoever obeys Allah and His Messenger and fears Allah and is conscious of Him, they are the ones who are victorious." Surah Al-Ahzab 33371. This verse explains that those who obey Allah and the Prophet Muhammad PBUH, who remain conscious of Allah in their lives, will be rewarded with success. This success is not just in this world but extends to the hereafter, where they will be granted a place in paradise. Islam is the guiding light that directs believers toward this ultimate success. The importance of faith and righteous deeds. In Islam, both faith and actions go hand in hand. It is not enough to simply claim belief in Allah. One must also act according to that belief. This is why righteous deeds are mentioned alongside faith in many verses of the Quran. For example, indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds and humbled themselves before their Lord, they will be the inhabitants of paradise, abiding therein eternally. Surah Al-Baqarah 98-8. This verse reinforces the concept that belief in Allah, when coupled with righteous actions, leads to eternal life in paradise. Charity, prayer, honesty, patience, and compassion are just a few examples of the good deeds that will help guide you to paradise. The straight paths as Sirat-e-Mustaqeem. One of the core teachings of Islam is the concept of the straight path as Sirat-e-Mustaqeem, which is the path that leads directly to paradise. This path is characterized by obedience to Allah, following the teachings of Prophet Muhammad, and avoiding sin. In Surah Al-Fatiha, the opening chapter of the Quran, Muslims ask Allah to guide them on the straight path. Guide us to the straight path. Says Surah Al-Fatiha 136. The straight path is not always the easiest path. Life in this full of distractions and temptations, but Islam teaches us to remain focused on the goal of entering paradise. Through patience, perseverance, and faith, believers are reminded to remain committed to the straight path, knowing that every effort will bring them closer to their ultimate reward. The role of Prophet Muhammad PBUH in leading to paradise. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH is the final messenger sent by Allah, and following his example is crucial for gaining entry to paradise. The Prophet PBUH is the best of guides, and his life serves as a model for how to live righteously in this world and earn the pleasure of Allah. The Prophet PBUH said, "Whoever follows me will enter paradise." Sahih Bukhari. This hadith emphasizes the importance of adhering to the Sunnah and the way of the Prophet in order to achieve eternal success. Following the teachings of the Prophet Muhammad PBUH means living with integrity, compassion, humility, and obedience to Allah. By doing so, you align yourself with the path that leads to paradise. The importance of sincerity ikhlas. In Islam, sincerity ikhlas is essential. It is not just the actions that matter, but also the intention behind them. Sincerity means that every act of worship and good deed is done purely for the sake of Allah, without seeking recognition or praise from others. The Quran makes it clear that those who do good deeds for the right reasons will be rewarded with paradise. And they were not commanded except to worship Allah, here being sincere to Him in religion. Surah Al-Baqarah 98-5. This sincerity in worship ensures that a person's actions are accepted by Allah, and that they are rewarded with paradise. A believer who is sincere in their devotion and acts according to the guidance of the Quran and Hadith will find that their efforts are never wasted. A reminder to strive for paradise. Life in this world can sometimes feel overwhelming and full of challenges, but always remember that these challenges are temporary. The reward in paradise is eternal. Allah promises that the reward for those who remain steadfast in their faith, even through hardships, will be worth the struggle. The Prophet Muhammad at PBUH reminded us of this in a beautiful hadith. A person will continue to strive until they enter paradise. And when they enter paradise, they will be so happy that they will forget the hardships they faced. Says Sahih Muslim. This hadith encourages us to remain patient and committed, no matter what challenges we face. The eternal bliss of paradise is worth every sacrifice and struggle. No matter how tough life gets, Islam is the path that leads us to a place of peace, happiness, and reward beyond imagination. Islam is the ultimate path to paradise. The faith and righteous deeds of the believer are the keys that open the gates of this eternal bliss. By following the guidance of the Quran and the Sunnah of Prophet Muhammad's PBUH, we align ourselves with the straight path that leads to the reward of paradise. Every effort, no matter how small, when done with the intention to please Allah, brings us closer to this eternal reward. Islam teaches us that the struggles and hardships of this world are temporary, but the rewards of paradise are everlasting. Let us strive to live according to the teachings of Islam, so that we can earn our place in paradise and experience its unimaginable joys and blessings. The status of the people in paradise will be one of great honor, peace, and contentment. They will experience eternal joy, free from the struggles and pain of the world. They will be surrounded by beauty, luxury, and blessings, with homes that reflect their righteousness and good deeds. Their companions will bring them joy, and their clothing will be a mark of their honor in the eyes of Allah. The people of paradise will live in a state of eternal peace, where every moment is filled with the blessings of Allah. There will be no sorrow, no sickness, and no discontent. Instead, they will enjoy the perfect reward for their faith, devotion, and righteousness in this life. This is the ultimate reward that we should all strive for, a life of eternal peace, where every desire is fulfilled and every moment is a reflection of Allah's mercy and grace. The beauty and bounty of paradise. Imagine walking into a land more beautiful than any place you've ever seen. Paradise, according to the Quran, is filled with gardens that stretch far beyond the horizon, each one lush and full of vibrant greenery, trees, and flowers. These gardens are no ordinary gardens. Allah promises, indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, they will have gardens beneath which rivers flow. Sirat-e-Mustaqeem 98-8. The rivers in paradise are unlike anything in this world. They flow with pure water, milk, honey, and wine, but not the wine we know on earth. The Quran describes this wine as pure and delightful, free from any negative effects. Rivers of water, which is never stale, rivers of milk whose taste will never change, rivers of wine and delight to those who drink, and rivers of honey, clear and pure. Says Surah Muhammad 4:75. These rivers will serve as a source of joy and nourishment, and the beauty of these rivers will never fade. It's a vision of eternal abundance. The fruits and foods of paradise, and in paradise, the food will be beyond perfect. You'll have fruits of every kind, exquisite and delicious, with flavors you've never tasted before. The Quran speaks of the fruit in paradise, and there will circulate among them air servant boys, air especially for them, as if they were pearls well protected. And they will approach one another, inquiring of each other, and they will be given to drink a cup of wine from a flowing spring, clear, delicious to those who drink it. Says Surah Al-Insan 7:21. The trees of paradise will produce fruits that are not only visually appealing but also filled with delightful taste. The fruits will be endlessly abundant, with no effort needed to cultivate or harvest them. You will have everything you could ever desire, whether it's the sweetness of a fruit or the most delicious meal you could imagine. Everything will be perfect, without any imperfections. Unlike the fleeting pleasures of this world, homes of pure luxury. Now, let's talk about the homes in paradise. Allah promises that the inhabitants of paradise will have homes of gold and silver, palaces of peace, and mansion-like structures beyond your wildest dreams. There will be no need for worries or concerns about building or maintaining these homes. They will be perfectly crafted with no flaws, offering comfort and peace. The Quran mentions the luxury of the homes in paradise. Indeed, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures. Their reward with their Lord will be paradise everlasting, beneath which rivers flow, and for them in it are purified mates, and they will abide therein eternally. Says Surah Al-Bayyinah 98:27a. These homes will be spacious and breathtaking, with no discomfort, no need for improvement. Every room, every corner will radiate tranquility and happiness. You will feel the presence of peace everywhere, knowing that your reward is truly eternal. No pain, no sadness, only eternal happiness. Paradise is the ultimate escape from the pain, suffering, and troubles of this world. In the Quran, Allah promises, there will circulate among them ear servant to boy, ears especially for them, as if they were pearls well protected. Surat-e 52:2-4. This verse reflects how the residents of paradise will be served by beautiful companions in an environment free from the burdens of worldly life. There will be no pain, fear, sadness, or illness. Everything that might cause discomfort in this life will be erased. Imagine an existence where sorrow doesn't exist. Every moment will be better than the one before, with no aging, no death, and no need to worry about future troubles. The peace you experience will be constant and unending, like a warm embrace from Allah. The Prophet Muhammad had described this in a hadith. In paradise, there is what no eye has ever seen, no ear has ever heard, and no heart has ever imagined. Sahih Bukhari 3244. This hadith emphasizes the indescribable joy and peace that await the believers in paradise. It's a joy so immense, we can't even begin to imagine it in this world. The eternal joy, never aging, never dying. One of the most incredible aspects of paradise is that it lasts forever. There will be no more aging, no more death, and no more fear. You will be in eternal peace, where joy, comfort, and happiness are constant. The Quran reminds us, "They will not taste death there and accept the first death, and He will protect them from the punishment of hellfire." Surah 2.4556. This verse promises that once you enter paradise, you will experience immortal joy. The blessings you receive will be eternal. Nothing in this world can compare to the endless joy that awaits you. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH further explained, "When the people of paradise enter paradise, Allah will say to them, 'Do you wish that I should give you anything more?' And they will say, 'Have you not made our faces bright? Have you not admitted us into paradise and saved us from the hellfire?' And He will say, 'This is the thing which is more excellent than that.'" So say Muslim. This hadith shows that the rewards of paradise are so incredible that the people in paradise will not even be able to imagine anything better. They will be blessed beyond comprehension, and their happiness will last forever. Endless rewards and blessings. Every part of paradise, every garden, every river, every meal, and every companion is designed to bring unimaginable joy. The Quran speaks about the rewards in paradise. Indeed, the righteous will be in a secure place, amid gardens and springs, dressed in fine silk and brocade, reclining on adorned couches. Incense 7:633 Fortune. Living in such a place, where everything you could ever wish for is already there. Every desire is fulfilled with ease, and you never experience any discomfort. The companions you meet will be pure, and you will have the best of company. No jealousy, no anger, just eternal friendship and love. Paradise is the ultimate reward for those who believe in Allah and do righteous deeds. It is a place of unimaginable beauty, joy, and peace, where every moment is better than the one before. There will be rivers flowing with pure water, milk, honey, and wine, gardens filled with delicious fruits, homes made of gold and silver, and companions who bring you happiness. But most importantly, there will be no pain, no sadness, and no fear. Just eternal peace, joy, and closeness to Allah. This is the paradise promised by Allah for the believers, and it's waiting for those who stay on the right path. May we all strive for it, and may Allah grant us all the ultimate reward of paradise. So, my dear viewers, how does paradise sound to you? After all the descriptions of its unimaginable beauty, eternal joy, and the unparalleled rewards awaiting those who are faithful, doesn't it make you want to live a life that will lead you there? To think that one day you could meet Prophet Muhammad PBUH, live forever in eternal beauty, and be in the divine presence of Allah. That is the ultimate reward, the highest blessing. And it's waiting for those who stay patient, faithful, and righteous. A promise from Allah. Paradise is a place where the believer's dreams and desires will be fulfilled in the most extraordinary way. In Surah Al-Kahf, Allah makes it clear, those who have believed and done righteous deeds, we will surely assign to them a high place in paradise. Surah Al-Kahf 4:6-1. This promise is not just a distant hope, it's a guarantee for those who live their lives with faith and good deeds. The Prophet Muhammad PBUH reassured us with these words, "When you ask Allah, ask Him for Jannah al-Firdaus, for it is the best and the highest part of paradise." Sahih Bukhari. We are encouraged to strive for the highest levels of paradise, not just because it's the most beautiful, but because it is where we will experience the closest connection to Allah's mercy and pleasure. But how do we earn a place in this unimaginable beauty? How do we walk the path that leads us to the eternal peace of paradise? The key is simple: follow the teachings of Islam, live a life of kindness and good deeds, and always strive to be better. The Quran guides us in Surah Al-Imran, "And obey Allah and the Messenger that you may obtain mercy." Surah Al-Imran 3:32. This means that by living in accordance with Allah's commands and following the example of Prophet Muhammad PBUH, we will earn His mercy and Insha'Allah find ourselves rewarded with paradise. we must also remember that every small act of kindness, every moment spent in prayer, every time we strive to stay patient in the face of difficulties, all of this adds to our journey toward Jannah. The Prophet Muhammad at PBUH told us, "Whoever helps another person in need be rewarded with the reward of paradise." Sahih Bukhari. This reminder teaches us that helping others, being compassionate, and living a life full of good deeds will pave the way for us to enter paradise. The Quran also speaks about the rewards of doing good, saying, "Indeed, those who believed and done righteous deeds, they are the best of creatures." Surah Al-Bayyinah 98:7. These acts may seem small, but they accumulate to become a huge reward in the hereafter. Paradise is promised to those who remain faithful and patient. Life in this world will not always be easy. We will face challenges, hardships, and tests. But remember, every trial we face, when met with patience and faith in Allah, is a means to earn a higher place in paradise. Allah promises in Surah At-Tawbah, "Indeed, Allah is with those who fear Him and those who are doers of good." Surah At-Tawbah 923. The patience and faith we show through life's challenges will be the ticket to eternal happiness in paradise. There, all the suffering and difficulties we face will fade away, and we will be rewarded with peace and joy beyond measure. Jannah, the eternal home of peace, is the ultimate goal for every believer. It is where we will finally find rest, joy, and closeness to Allah. Every moment spent in worship and obedience to Allah is a step closer to that final eternal reward. The Prophet Muhammad at PBUH said, "The people of paradise will enter paradise, and the people of the fire will enter the fire. And there will remain in paradise those who have attained the highest levels, and they will live in perfect peace and happiness." Muslim. Imagine the moment when we enter Jannah and realize that all the struggles, sacrifices, and challenges we faced in this world were worth it. The rewards will far exceed anything we can imagine. Now, let's remind ourselves that every step we take in this life can lead us closer to paradise. No matter how difficult the journey may seem, stay focused on the goal, paradise. Let's commit to living by the teachings of Islam, doing good to others, staying patient, and constantly striving for goodness. Allah has made the path to paradise clear. It's up to us to follow it with sincerity and faith. Insha'Allah, we will all meet in the most beautiful place of paradise. May we be among those who enter Jannah al-Firdaus, the highest level of paradise, where we will be in the company of the Prophet Muhammad to PUA, surrounded by eternal beauty, peace, and the divine presence of Allah. If you found this video inspiring and motivating, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Let's spread the word about the beauty of paradise and encourage each other to walk the path that leads to it. May Allah guide us all to the highest place in Jannah, and may He grant us patience and strength to live righteous lives in accordance with His will. Ameen.